So I've just done my makeup and I've gone for a little bit more of a glam look because I've got this gorgeous emerald green one fell swoop dress on to wear out, and because I haven't done lashes in what feels like forever, I wanted to go with a strip lash, just something a little bit fuller and a little bit more glam to tie in with everything. So I'm going to do a tutorial on how I put on a strip lash. These are little demi wispies from Ardell, and I think they're going to be the perfect shape for this eye because they fan out. So if you want to accentuate that cat-shaped eye, especially with a wing, then I think these will be the best shape to go for. So I'm going to put my Ardell Demi Wispy lashes on. I think the obvious thing to start with is make sure you get your left and your rights correct. So where the lash is lowest, smallest, shortest, you want that to be on the inner. Where it's longer, you want it to be on the outer. So just make sure that when you put your first lash on, it's the right way around. I always make sure that the length is right as well. So what can happen with a strip lash is your eyes might be bigger or smaller, usually smaller than the strip lash because they have to cater for all the biggest eyes. So basically easy to trim it down. So with these ones, I actually have checked it. So normally I pop them just on top with no glue, just really softly first, and just make sure that it's not really extended over here or really extended over here. And this is perfect as it is. If you just wanted like a 3/4 lash, you could probably just trim a little bit off and then just pop it on the outside and just make sure that A, you're happy with the length, and B, both sides match. Also, wherever you trim the lash, make sure that you trim it from the same point on the other lash. For example, if you trim the shorter bit, make sure you don't trim the longer bit on the other side. We've all done it before and it creates a disaster because it'll give you asymmetry with your lashes. So if you are trimming, just be really mindful of exactly how many, I always call it a notch, how many notches you actually take off. 1, 2, 3, and short side or long side. So I'm gonna start with a little bit of my eyelash glue. I've just used a duo adhesive, but you can probably use the glue that comes with your lashes. And what I want to do is just dip some of my lash into the eyelash glue. It's really, really important here that you dip the edges in. So I usually go back in and do a little double dip. So you want to make sure that your lash is fully coated. And then it's really important that you wait for it to get tacky as well, because if it's too wet, it's going to slip and slide all over the eye. You're going to stuff up your eyeshadow, you'll be devastated, and you'll probably not want to try them again for a little while. So I just give them a couple of minutes just to let that glue get a little bit sticky and tacky so it grabs when you put it on. You'll know when your lashes are ready when the glue starts to go a little bit patchy. So some parts will just start to dry. Like by no means you want the glue to be almost dry, but you want parts of it to start to be a little bit tacky and sort of ready to adhere. So when it's looking a little bit patchier like this, then we can start putting it on. So what I normally do is I find fingers are best for this. You go over. Just gonna hold my mirror here. And I'm just gonna drag it a fraction. You basically wanna get it as close to your lash line as you possibly can. The beautiful thing about these lashes is the bands are really nice and flexible. If you've had a bad experience with lashes before, it may have been because it was a poor quality lash and the band was really inflexible. And what can happen is they can be really heavy on the lid, they can be really pokey, like when they feel like they're kind of cutting in, or they can just be impossible to stick on properly. So I'm just sort of pressing it in. I think this inner corner is a dead giveaway of an artificial lash, and we all want the lashes to look like they belong to us. So make sure when you put your eyelashes on that that inner corner is pressed in. Sometimes I just hold my finger over the lash just to press it into the skin, but you don't want to smush it around too much. Another tip that I would highly recommend is give yourself a bit of liner, because the liner will be forgiving. If you haven't got your lash right onto your base of your lash line, if you've got a beautiful diffused liner or a thicker wing or something quite substantial, it will actually disguise that your lash strip isn't 100% perfect. So I've just put my second side of lash on, and I got a little bit of glue just above here. So if your placement's not perfect, it's okay. The glue will dry clear. So you just press the lashes into each other, and it will drag the lash band down a fraction. So you just really, really gently pat it in. And I guess it's really good to see this because it should look a little bit like this. It shouldn't look like a white smeary mess. It should just look a bit damp and almost like, just like there's just a hint of something that shouldn't be there. Catch a fallout. So I've just done the other side, and these were so easy to put on. I have been defaulting to individual lashes for myself and my clients for ages. I just haven't been leaning towards strip lashes, and I don't know why, because these are absolutely beautiful. They're really natural, they're really fluffy, and they feel nice and light, especially for someone who doesn't wear a strip lash. It's I think it breaks the stigma of that, oh, strip lash is so heavy. Not at all. If you get a really good quality lash, they are not heavy at all. And if you put it on really nice, like put it on properly, then it shouldn't dig into the corners of your eyes, and it also shouldn't weigh the eye down. So this is the Ardell Demi Wispies, and they're absolutely gorgeous. I really, really recommend them.